Today on MTG Unpacked, we're cracking open the Commander 2018 deck Subjective Reality. So this is the third one in the series that we'll be taking a look at with the Esper colors. So that is white, blue and black. And as you can see, you get a fairly creepy Planeswalker. So we'll take a look at that one in a moment. So talking about the multiplayer Magic format, which is Commander, got a couple of examples here. And for Subjective Reality, it says Amenatu may be a child, but she possesses wisdom of many lifetimes and the power to manipulate reality itself. She can effortlessly alter a person's entire destiny, for better or worse, and leave no trace of her interference. So what do we get here? You get a deck box, 100 card deck, 17 new cards, and 10 double-sided token cards. Also get the foil oversized commander cards, strategy insert, and reference card. So let's get stuck into it. And as you can see, I have the Planeswalkers here representing the various colors. Let's put them aside. They are not doing any pack blessings today because the list for this deck is online. Very clear what we're getting here, so shouldn't be too many surprises. Although it's always fun to take a look at the new cards in here. Let's see if I can open this without destroying the foil. So these are great fun, these oversized cards. We get Amenatu, the Fate Shifter. So this is a legendary Planeswalker, Amenatu, 3 loyalty for 3 mana. So the white, blue and black. Her +1 is draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1 is exile another target permanent you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. And the ultimate -6 is choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Amenatu, the Fate Shifter, controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. So that seems pretty fun. Bit of a game changer there. And at the bottom you can see the notation, Amenatu, the Fate Shifter can be your commander. So you need that if you're going to be using Planeswalkers as commanders. And I definitely think this one wins the award for the most inventive and creepy Planeswalker. So let's set that aside, take a look at the box here. We get a fold out sheet, the deck proper, and that is it. So let's take a look at this. We have Commander Subjective Reality. The primary commander we just looked at is Amenatu, the Fate Shifter. Secondaries are Yennet, Cryptic Sovereign, and Verena, Lich Queen. So you can read a bit more about that, how to play the deck. Here's some rules for Commander. As you can see, not terribly complicated. A lot of it builds on the rules of Magic. So if you're already familiar with Standard, Modern, or any of the other formats, you'll do okay in Commander. It's a fairly crazy game though, so as you might imagine, here's Amenatu. And we have Yennet, Verena, Lich Queen. Oh, we get another one here, Eureka, the Tiger's Shadow. Alright, so let's get stuck into this, see what we have today. And one thing I did not highlight in the earlier videos is the cost of these decks has gone up substantially, so they're now $40 each. So if you can get them for cheaper than that, that is a good deal. And I'll leave it up to you if you think it's worth picking up or not. That's really the purpose of these videos, to show you what's in the deck, give you a bit of a taste of the flavor of the cards, see what you think, see if it's worth your hard-earned money. And let's separate out the tokens. And actually I haven't been turning these over, I should do that so we can see what's on both sides. Alright, so there is the deck. We'll split that up for easy going through, and we'll put the tokens aside. Alright, so the Planeswalkers, you get a regular size Amenatu the Fate Shifter. So it's pretty much the same as the other one. Up to you which one you use. This one can obviously be shuffled into decks and so forth if it's not your primary commander. And next we have Verena Lich Queen. So this is a 4/4 for 4 mana legendary creature zombie wizard. And I always have trouble with the pronunciation. Some people say Lich Queen, but leave a note in the comments what your preference is. So this one, whenever you attack with one or more zombies, draw that many cards and discard that many cards. You gain that much life, and for 2 and exiling 2 cards from your graveyard, you create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. Seems pretty good. Next up we have Yennet Cryptic Sovereign, another foil. This is a 3/5 for 5 mana. With flying, vigilance and menace, and when it attacks, we're having trouble with focusing here. Whenever it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If that card's converted mana cost is odd, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. And these Sphinxes are always pretty strange, lots of variety. Leave a note in the comments if there's a Sphinx you think is particularly weird. That'd be a fun thing to check out. There's a whole lot of them over Magic's history. Okay, so let's get stuck into the deck. We have a Loyal Unicorn, a Loyal Subordinate Zombie. That's pretty cool. A Geode Golem. And I think we came across this guy in one of the other decks, one of the artifact ones. I think that was the first one we looked at. Next up we have Banishing Stroke. And what is up? There's too much for it to focus on here. Having some issues with this. Banishing Stroke. Crib Swap. Got a little shapeshifter there, that's pretty funny. Light Form. And we are having really bad focusing. I hope the camera's not on the way out. Return to Dust. Brainstorm. Cloud Form. Dream Cache. What's this guy doing? He's dreaming of money by the looks of it. Mull Drifter, so we get a flying elemental fish. Ninja of the Deep Hours. Ponder, that one's pretty good. One of the few commons that is worth a couple of bucks. Portent. That would be a good one with foil. Predict. Sigilled Starfish. Telling Time. Treasure Hunt. Esper Charm. Mortify. And when we get on to the rares and mythics, we'll have a bit of a closer look at those instead of zipping through them. Azorius Signet. Commander's Sphere, Crystal Ball, Demir's Signet, Mind Stone, Orzhov Signet, Pilgrim's Eye, and here we go. Here's a rare. So this is a Boreas Charger, 2/1 for 3 mana, creature Pegasus with flying, and when it leaves the battlefield, choose an opponent who controls more lands than you. Search your library for a number of plains cards equal to the difference and reveal them. Put one of them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest into your hand, then shuffle your library. So that seems like a good deal. Get some lands whenever he is either exiled or put in the graveyard. Magus of the Balance. This is a creature human wizard 2/2 for 2 mana. You can pay 4 on a plains, tap it, sack it, and each player chooses a number of lands they control equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest. Did you get all that? Then sacrifices the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. So a little bit confusing there. Might have to read that a few more times to understand what's going on. Next up we have a Minotaur's Augury. There she is again with her fiendish little butterflies, no doubt. Sorcery for 8. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield. Until end of turn, for each non-land card type, you may cast a card of that type from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. Primordial Mist. So this is an enchantment for 5. And at the beginning of your end step, you may put you may manifest the top card of your library. So what does that mean? Put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature. Turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. Okay. Exile a face down permanent you control face up. You may play that card this turn and you still pay its cost. Timing rules still apply. So again, another one that I would have to read a few more times to understand what's going on. Entreat the Dead. That's some pretty cool artwork. Sorcery for XX and 3 swamps. Return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it has Miracle X and 2 swamps. You may cast this card for its miracle cost when you draw it if it's the first card you drew this turn. So basically a nice top decking there. You get rewarded for that. A bit of a cheaper casting cost. Night Incarnate, creature elemental, 3/4 for 5 mana with Death Touch. When it leaves the battlefield, all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn, and you can pay 3 in a swamp. This is for Evoke, so you can cast the spell for its Evoke cost. If you do it, sacrifice when it enters the battlefield. Ooh, that's some cool artwork. So we have Skull Storm. Sorcery for 9 mana. Holy moly. When you cast a spell, copy it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Each opponent who can't loses half their life rounded up. So that is pretty cool. They just keep sacking creatures. Sower of Discord. This is a creature demon, 6/6 for 6 mana with flying. As it enters battlefield, choose 2 players. Whenever damage is dealt to one of the chosen players, the other chosen player also loses that much life. Delightful. Eureka, the Tiger's Shadow. So this was one we saw on the pamphlet there. Legendary creature, human ninja. 1/3 for 3 mana. It has Commander Ninjutsu, so the cost here is a plains and a swamp. You can return, and also return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. And you put this card onto the battlefield from your hand or the command zone tapped and attacking. And whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So if you've got a tribal ninja deck, this would be a nice addition. We get an isolated Watchtower. So this is a land. You can tap it for colorless mana. Pay 2 and tap, scry 1. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If a basic land card is revealed this way, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Activate this ability only if an opponent controls at least 2 more lands than you. Okay. Oh, Mythix! There we go. Entreat the Angels. This is a sorcery for X, X, and 3 planes. You can create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying, and you get a bit of a discount there if you do the miracle option. So if it's the first card you drew. Seems pretty good. Serra Avatar. Creature Avatar, star for 4 and 3 planes. Its power and toughness are equal to your life total. That is pretty cool. When it's put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. So the key for that, if you're facing that one, would be you'd want to exile it so it doesn't keep coming back. Sorcery, Army of the Damned. So this is a 8 mana. That is some pretty nice artwork. It's a mythic. Create 13 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Nice. And we've got the flashback cost here of 7 and 3 swamps. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Next up we have an Adaka Valkyrie, snow creature. That's interesting. Angel, 4/5 for 6 mana with flying and vigilance. Tap it when target creature other than Adaka Valkyrie dies this turn. Return that card to the battlefield under your control. Achroma's Vengeance, sorcery for 6. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. And you can also cycle for 3. Terminus, sorcery for 6. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's libraries. And you can also get a discount there with Miracle, if it's a top deck, basically. And we were just talking about Sphinxes. Here's another weird one. Conundrum Sphinx. So this one is 4/4 for 4 mana. That's a lot of 4s. With flying, whenever it attacks, each player chooses a card name, then they reveal the top card of their library. If a player revealed a card has the name they chose, that player puts it into their hand. If it doesn't, that player puts it on the bottom of their library. Okay, so that one would probably be a bit hit or miss. Devastation Tide, and what is this? Somebody's blowing away, or we've got a big tornado there. So a sorcery for 5 mana. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. And we have a discount there. Miracle, 1 and an island. If you top deck it, Gin of Wishes. This guy is 4/4 for 5 mana with flying. Enters battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. You can pay 2 and 2 islands, remove a wish counter, and reveal the top card of your library. You may play that card without paying its mana cost if you don't exile it. Okay, so again, this one, noticing tons of rares, and I think they're grouping them together, so we had a whole lot of commons and uncommons near the beginning. So next up we have a Jeskai Infiltrator, 2/3 for 3 mana, creature human monk. Can't be blocked as long as you control no other creatures. And it deals combat damage to a player. Exile it and the top card of your library in the face down pile. Shuffle that pile, then manifest those cards. So the manifesting was putting it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature and turn it face up anytime for its mana cost, if it's a creature card. Okay, and another Sphinx. We have the Sphinx of Dry Oil, 5/5 for 6 mana with flying and shroud. So this creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. And you may look at the top card of your library. You may do this at any time. Oh, okay. Sphinx of Athun. How many Sphinxes are there? 5/6 for 7 mana with flying. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates them into 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand and the other in your graveyard. This guy looks pretty creepy. Phyrexian Delver. Creature zombie, 3/2 for 5 mana. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You lose life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Ether Mage's Touch, an instant for 4. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. It gains, at the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. Then put the rest of the cards revealed this way on the bottom of your library in any order. Vampire Wizard. Duskmantle Seer, 4/4 for 4 mana. With flying at the beginning of your upkeep, each player reveals the top card of their library, loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost, then puts it into their hand. Okay, so is this the commander deck with the most Sphinxes? I'm going to say yes. I do not recall seeing too many other Sphinxes so far, but there's always the next deck. But I think this one will probably be the ultimate winner. Artifact creature Sphinx 5/4 for 7 mana. With flying, when it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put it into your library, third from the top. Also has the Cascade ability. So when you cast this spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exiled cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. And a non-Sphinx. This is a High Priest of Penance. Creature human cleric 1/1 for 2 mana. Whenever it is dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. Oh, and here we have the Silent Blade Oni. So 6/5 for 7 mana. So Ninja, Demon Ninja, has this ninjutsu thing. So this is 4 island and a swamp, and returning an unblocked attacker you control to hand, and you get to put this card on the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at that player's hand. You may cast a non-land card in it without paying that card's mana cost. Utter End. Instant exile target non-land permanent for 4. That's very simple, straightforward. Like those cards. Next up we have a Seer's Lantern. So scrying or adding colorless mana. And I was wondering if we would go the whole deck without one of these. The ever popular Soul Ring. Oh, okay, so that is it. That's the deck proper. And then we'll take a look at these tokens. I'm going to look on both sides this time. So we have zombies. Whole lot of zombies. Alright, Manifest. So this helps you out a bit with the turning cards face down. A couple of those. And then let's flip them over. You get some angels. Shapeshifter, this goofy guy. Token creature. More manifest tokens. Okay, so they don't often do that, the double-sided tokens, but I think that's a good way of doing things here. Then we have a whole stack of plains, islands, and swamps. Looks to be roughly equal. I'm not going to go through and count them, however. Then we'll take a look at the non-basic lands. We get the Forge of Heroes, Arcane Sanctum, Azorius Chancery, Azorius Guildgate, and I would really like if this would focus. There we go. Baron Moor, Command Tower. So this is a popular one. We've seen it in every deck so far. So this land, you can tap it and add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Dimir Aqueduct, Dimir Guildgate, Dismal Backwater. So a whole lot of blue-black combo cards here. And can we focus on this? Thank you. Forsaken Sanctuary, Halimar Depths, Dry Isle Refuge, Lonely Sandbar, Meandering River, and I bet it's Jace. I bet this guy, it keeps focusing. What if we put him down here? Maybe it'll focus a little better. Meandering River, Mortuary Mire, New Benalia. Okay, so that reminds me of that card in Dominaria. Orzhov Basilica, Orzhov Guildgate, Scoured Barrens, Secluded Steppe, Sajiri Refuge, and I noticed these cards were a little stuck together. That's something new. Submerged Boneyard, Tranquil Cove, and yeah, we've got something stuck there. Bit of a quality issue. Oh, of course, the popular Magic Formats card. Okay, nothing too exciting there. So that is it. That is the Commander Subjective Reality deck. Just a quick tour there, a bit more in-depth on the rares and mythics with a cool but creepy Planeswalker. So leave a note in the comments which deck you prefer so far. We'll be taking a look at one more later today, and that will be the Commander 2018 decks. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more Magic the Gathering unboxings, and be sure to tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Stay tuned for the next installment. We've got one more to come. Thanks for watching and have a great day.